Good. Hi, guys. Welcome to day 3 of the challenge. By now, I hope you've read through all the info that we've given you in the top section and that you've already downloaded the series of mails that we're giving you in text format. Save them in your folder and then obviously replaced your affiliate link in the correct places. Just read through the steps there. It's all there. Because today we'll be looking at this part of the funnel, and that is the sequence of mails that will be sent to people once they've clicked on your lead capture page. They get put on a list, they give their email addresses, put on the list, and then they get sent this 5 mails. And the 5 mails will be automatically sent to them every day, so you're not going to do everything. And that's what we're going to look at today. Right, so let us get going into that. So there I've got my mails already saved on the one side from day 1 to 5. That's where I replace my get response affiliate link into that space, and then obviously your own name there. So your affiliate link, your name goes in there in each and every one of those 5 mails. You don't need to change the wording. You can if you want to. It's up to you. But these letters are pre-written for you. All right, so those are the emails that are pre-written for you. Good, in the correct format. So let's start off and we create a newsletter. Create newsletter, there we go, in get response. So once we click on that, I've got the 2 options. We will work with drag and drop editor. We're not going to work with the HTML source. HTML, we're going to work with drag and drop. There we go. So that's the one we'll select. Now, obviously, we want to link the list. In your case, you've set up the list yesterday, so it should be in the drop down there. Now we're going to add the message name. The message name should be connected to your project. So in this case, my project is test 1, and this is the first mail. So the next one will be test 1, mail 2, test 1, mail 3, and so forth. This is for me to reference in future. Right, so I go back there and I select the subject line. There's the subject line. So let's just quickly show you a little trick here. How do I jump between screens and how do I copy? I use Control and C keys. So I select and then I use my keys on my keyboard, Control and C. Press and hold Control and then click C, that copies. How do I jump between screens? You can see I've opened 2 Google Chromes there. And I jump between the 2 by holding in Tab and then pressing, holding in Alt and then pressing Tab. So I Control C, Alt Tab. And on this side, I paste by using Control and V. Right, so that's how I jump between screens. That has been set up when you started your account. So all of that info in, everything's set up. And next step. Now the next step is actually taking me to the templates. What's important to note here is you'll see beautiful looking templates with pictures and stuff. Don't get distracted, guys. We're not going to use those. Those are HTML rich. HTML is actually coding that creates that. That's the stuff the computer reads. The computer cannot see the picture. It reads the coding in the back and then generates the picture. We're not going to use that because that's HTML heavy. We will be using plain text emails. That's just so that everybody who opens it on the other side can actually see it, because some people still have their email clients set to not read HTML mails. So we're going to use plain text mails, and once we've clicked on that, that screen will open. So that's where you enter your plain text message. So we Alt Tab back and we select the body of the message. You've already replaced, hopefully remember to replace your affiliate link in there and your name at the bottom. Right, Alt Tab back and then Control V, we paste. Right, Alt Tab, Control V, and then that's the content of my email. So that's what the email will look like when it gets to the recipient. So I'm just going to do some editing. I'm just going to make that a paragraph, and then you'll see I'm using a plugin in Chrome that's called Grammarly, an extension. So you can just use that. That'll do your grammar check and it will do your spell check. It's not always correct depending on what you want to say. So in that case, it's not correct. So I'm just going to ignore that one. Boom. But there's some spelling mistakes. Sales driven needs a hyphen. System, course, Right, so there we've got some spell check and so on and so forth. So we're just going to run through that. Okay, spell check done. I've got one error. I'm just going to leave that for now and go to the next step. And the next step is taking me to this screen. Don't tick anything here, because if you do tick this, then this thing will start sending that mail. We want to send or save this mail as a draft for now. We'll use it later on. I'll show you now. So don't tick anything there. Go next step. And here's a short summary of what I've done now. I've got my subject, I've got my template, and then I've got my spam score in the third line. So there's my subject. I can actually edit that from here. I've got my template, which I can edit from here. And then I get to spam score. Spam score is important. That's why we don't use the HTML templates as well, because the recipient's email client will count that spam score depending on various factors, and a plain text message will keep that spam score as low as you can. So once we've done that, we've ensured that everything is fine here. We know that the spam score will be low because we've done that. Right. Don't need to worry about that for now. Spam score is fine. We haven't chosen any recipients. We want to save it as a draft. So then we just save it as a draft, and Bob's your uncle for now. Okay, after we've saved the drafts, you can now click on drafts and you will see your mails are listed below in sequence. Right, so I've already done test mail 1 and I've already added mail 2. There you can see it. So there's mail 1 and 2. So the mails are now complete. They are lying there as drafts, and we will then implement them from here once we set up the actual autoresponder. Right, so now we go to autoresponders finally. Right, here on autoresponders, there you see all your autoresponder mails being sent, and we'll run through that now. How are we going to set that up? That's the ones that we currently send to you, and we create a new one by clicking on that. And that will open a new screen for you. Where we can now add the name for the autoresponder. Alright, so the name is for your own reference. As you can see, nobody will see that name but you. So just link it to a campaign. So I'm going to do campaign 1 and mail 1 or test 1, whatever you call it, that's fine. The next one obviously will then be test 2 and test 3 and so forth. Now keep in mind, this part is important. Autoresponder in GetResponse starts on day 0. So this is where we are. The moment somebody clicks there, to go there, the name is added to the email list, and we want to fire that sequence of mails. Alright, so how quickly we want to fire that sequence of mails is all going to be dependent on what we put in here. So the moment the person clicks, we want him to receive the first mail. So he'll click, he'll get added to the list, and now we're going to add this date. Now look what happens to that line if I change the on day here. It's now 25, so I want to make it 0 so that the mail gets sent immediately. So that's what you need to keep in mind, that GetResponse starts with day 0, not day 1. So day 0 means that first mail is fired immediately the moment upon clicking the button on your lead capture page. Right, so we link it to a list, the list you've created already. It gets fired immediately, it gets sent immediately. The moment he clicks there, he's going to get that first mail. Alright, that's how that works. In the next part, we obviously want to send that on every day of the week. You can decide what you want to do, maybe exclude weekends, whatever, but we want to send every day of the week. Now we just need to add the message. So we're going to choose a message by clicking there. You get to this screen, it shows newsletters. autoresponders and drafts. Remember, we saved it as a draft, so you'll find it under drafts. There you see test mail 1 and 2. We're going to add number 1 because that's the first one we sent. So now it's in there and everything is set up. Now we can save and publish. So if you just save, you can come back and edit. It's not going to fire. It's not going to send. If you do save and publish, the mail will be sent. That means it's active and it's going to start running. And it's going to be sending to your list the moment I click that. Now see what's going to happen on my side, because I've already got somebody on that list. The moment I click save and publish, I'm not going to use save, I'm just going to do save and publish now. It's going to pop up a message and tell me there's one subscriber on that list, and would I like to send him this message. Now in this case I don't want to do that, and it will do that every time. If there's a subscriber on the list already, and it's going to ask me if I want to send that message. Now in this case I don't want to. Just click that. And now you'll see you've set up your first autoresponder. So that's the first mail that's going to go out. The moment people will click on that. The moment people click, that's the first mail there. That's going to be sent. We're going to set up the rest now. The 5 mails that we've given you, those are the 5 ones we're going to put in sequence. We just done the first one. The moment they click, then they get added to the list and they get sent that first mail immediately. All right. So we're going to create another one. But maybe just important, you'll see here that this is linked to a specific list in this case. All right. So all those are the challenges that we send out to you guys. Now we're going to do the second one. So the first one was on day 0. This one will then obviously be on day 1. Now we're just going to continue with our sequence. So if you wanted to have campaign 1 and then mail 2 or campaign whatever, that's what you're going to do there. So keep in mind your day 1 might be day 2 actually. It's already linked to that list. Now here's important. Do you want to send it the same time as they signed up? So if you signed up last night at say 6 o'clock in the evening, and you click that, then it's going to send on the next day at 6 o'clock in the evening. Now we found that the best time is to send at 9 o'clock in the morning. So between 10 or between 8 in the morning and 10, we're going to pick 9. So in this case, we just click the drop down, go to 9. That's 9 a.m. All right. And obviously we want to click the button below that, which is time travel. So that means wherever the guy is, it's delivered at his local time. So no matter where he's sitting, he might be in New Zealand or wherever, the mail will be sent at 9 a.m. in his time. We keep all those ticked, that's fine, and we choose the next message. Go to draft again. Now you'll see number 2. Number 1 is gone, it's not there anymore. Right, number 2, you'll have number 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Alright, click number 2. Once you've clicked number 2 and you've chosen that one, it gets added to that specific autoresponder there. Right, so just choose that one. And once again, save and publish. And it's going to ask me the same question. There's somebody on the list and I don't want to send them that. And I've got my second autoresponder, or the second mail in the sequence is now set up. So I've got day 0 and day 1 set up. Right. That's already now set up. I'm just showing you the autoresponders that's currently attached to that specific list on our side. So what you do is you just click down, go to the list. We've chosen for this exercise test list. There we go. Just untick the other one. And there we go. Campaign. There you see. There's the 2 that I've just done. The one there at the bottom is an old one. Let me just delete that. Right. So that's gone. So there's the 2 that we've set up. You will now set up all of the others, please. So you're going to have day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. I just want to go back to the ones we have, etc. Alright, so we're going to just go back and show you that the mails that we've already sent, the ones that we're currently sending out to you, those autoresponders, because I just want to talk some stats here. Alright, so there you can see we've got day 0, 1, 2, 3 underneath each other there, if you go down. So let's look at the stats. We've delivered 11 of those. We've had an open rate of 80%, but we've only had a click-through rate of 18%. So this is where the Pareto principle comes into play. Now you can Google that, or you can YouTube that, whatever you do. Have a look at the Pareto principle. That principle states that 20% of the people will finish the stuff that they do. That's why gyms are full, or membership fees are being paid, but only 20% of the people that pay the membership fees are actually going to the gym. And it's the same here. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you're doing wrong. Of the 100 people that start on your list, you'll only have 20 people that finish with something. And there's a prime example of that. So of all the people that actually opened the mails, only 18% have now actually clicked through on that. Right, so that's the Pareto principle in play. Nothing you can do. You can't change that. You can't better that. You can't. That's the thing. So that's the odds that you're playing. So you need to understand that you need traffic being sent to your list. The more traffic you get, the bigger that 20% retention rate will be that you want to keep there. And that's the aim at the end of the day. So have a look on Google that, the Pareto principle. Let's go down. So the people that have gone on to day 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you being on day 4, you can now count yourself under 40% of the people. Right, because 60% of the people have now already fallen out of this thing the moment they start. And you'll see the stats now increase and get better as we go. So when somebody gets to day 4 and day 5, you'll find that most probably they'll stick and they'll continue, and they will now become part of your raving fans. So they'll be part of your fan base. And that's what you want to do. So let's look at day 5 there. You can see there's a 50% open rate or click rate. And the reason for that is I'm the other 50% of that. So it's myself and somebody else, and that person has clicked through and he's clicked on the links and so forth. So the other 50% is just me. I haven't clicked on that link. But you can see that the odds increase and the stats increase and work in your favor the further. Okay. So there's it. Now we've done the lists. You've created your email list where people will, once they've clicked there, they'll be added to that, and then they will be sent the sequence of mails that we've set up just now. Right. So that's the autoresponders. Just take that list again. Here we go. So that's the list of mails that will be sent on day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. That'll be your 5 mails. Obviously, we will continue with other mails afterwards, but for now, we've just given you 5 so that you understand the process. All right, now last thing that you need to do today, make sure that you scroll down to the bottom of this page. In the green block, checks and balances, make sure that you've done everything there. Check yourself, and then please comment on our Facebook group and ask your questions there so that we can assist you. And that is that for today. See you tomorrow on day 4.